Ladies and gentlemen, boy, this Epstein file just takes all kinds of twists and turns. But we still can't get them to release it. So the deputy DOJ, I guess he's under Pam Bondi, he was caught on a hot mic telling them to redact the Republican names and keep all the Democratic names that were on the Epstein list. Because that's the way Donald Trump campaigned on the Epstein list. He said the list was a bunch of Democrats and tried to give the impression that Republicans weren't on the list at all. So, as you can see from this deputy running his mouth, the Republicans were definitely there. Otherwise, what would you have to redact? But this whole thing is a joke. If you are dealing with a criminal matter and your president is a criminal, then yes, you're going to have all kinds of roadblocks thrown in the way. And then you have people just like this guy. I think his name is Jeff Schnitt. He is sitting there trying to commit a crime. So what you're saying is anybody that's guilty and they're from the Republican Party, their name should never be seen. And anybody that's on the left, their name should be seen. Do y'all see how these people have gotten away with crime all this time? I sure do. And this is all the sneaky things they're doing legally to always ensure they don't look guilty, even when they are really, truly guilty. Oh, just get our names off of there and just leave those names on there. Unbelievable. I guess we're going to be looking at crimes all the way to 2028. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Mhm. Well, I'm putting together a Rapture video. It's gonna be my final one for today. I got another one coming up soon at 6:15. That's gonna be a premiere, and then I'm gonna do this video on responses to people still waiting to get raptured. If nothing else, you'll get a good laugh. Alright, y'all. Thank you. Oh, one more thing, y'all. They moved the rapture date. Okay, it was supposed to be the 23rd and the 24th. Well, they moved it because I guess not that many people were taken today, or no people were taken today. So now they moved the rapture to the 25th. So if you're going to be raptured away, it'll be today, tomorrow, or the 25th. So I'm sure when the 25th get here, it may turn into the 26th and the 27th. And who knows, it may go all the way to December. Oh, he's coming. He's going to come with Santa Claus. It'll be December and they'll be still sitting around saying they're going to get raptured away. Rudolph is coming. They going. They going to be going. So I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, they tacked on another day. So I guess I'm gonna have to have fun on my live stream on the 26th, or a big question mark next to that. All right, let's get started.
We have some big news right now that I think more people need to be talking about. So this morning, James O'Keefe, who's not necessarily a trustworthy source, put out a video showing a Department of Justice official saying that the DOJ will be redacting all Republican and conservative names from the Epstein files, leaving in all Democrat names. That's a bombshell, right? But it's James O'Keefe, and so you take his reporting with a grain of salt. But then the Justice Department just released this statement in response. And the statement It doesn't rebuke anything that was said by O'Keefe or the person in the video. The statement is actually from the person in the video, Joseph Schnitt. He says that comments that he made were in his personal comments on what he's learned in the media and not from anything I've done at or learned via work. That he has no knowledge of the circumstances surrounding Miss Maxwell other than what's reported in the news. Essentially talks about how O'Keefe was able to get him on this hot mic. He never once disputes O'Keefe's video, which shows him saying, quote, "The government will redact every Republican while leaving all the liberal Democratic people on the client list," and that Maxwell was moved to a lower security prison as a benefit to keep her mouth shut. This is a very fascinating development, and if true, is a bombshell. So spread the word so more people know and follow along for more.
The Justice Department is in damage control after a DOJ official was secretly recorded on a hidden camera talking about the Epstein files. It's been going viral online, and in that video, one of the department's deputy chiefs says the files will be heavily redacted to remove all Republicans' names. He also suggests the DOJ is offering Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, quote, something to keep her mouth shut.
The video was posted by the founder of Project Veritas.
A bombshell video was released by none other than conservative activist James O'Keefe just a couple days ago. And in that video, a senior Department of Justice official admitted that the DOJ is in fact going to redact all the names of the Republicans in the Epstein files and just leave the Democrats and Democratic donors for the public to see. Now, before I get into this, I know a lot of people may be thinking like, but Farron, can we really trust anything that comes from James O'Keefe? Because don't get me wrong, that was my first thought too. But considering the fact that the DOJ actually released a statement from the guy in the video where he tried to explain away why he said those things, then I'm going to go ahead and say that in this one rare instance, as far as I can see as of this particular moment, yes, I am choosing to trust James O'Keefe this one time because the DOJ appears to have confirmed it. So here is what this man said on video. This is a senior DOJ official by the name of Joseph Schnitt. And he said, quote, "They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal Democratic people in those files." He then said that the Bureau of Prisons violated policy by moving Maxwell from the maximum security prison to Club Fed over in Texas. But again, they're going to redact all the Republican names and just leave the Democrats, which honestly is not surprising at all. In fact, that's probably what a lot of people already assumed was going to happen. After all, when Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's former lawyer, who is now a DOJ official, when he first went to go talk to Maxwell when she was in the federal prison in Florida, and it was like, oh, she gave 100 names. It turns out that's not what happened. She didn't give 100 names. She was asked by Blanche about 100 specific people. She didn't offer up any names. They came prepared with their list of names that they wanted to ask about. So all of this, his admission does fit in with what we know. On top of that, we also had the reports a month or so ago about the DOJ going through and forcing the FBI to redact any and all mentions of Trump's name within those files. They put tons of people on a round-the-clock shift 24/7 to go through all the files and take out Trump's name. So what this DOJ official, Schnitt, said on that video does appear to match up with the reality as we know it. Now, here's what's funny. The way James O'Keefe did this, and I got to give him credit for it, he's done this in the past, and I do think this is kind of funny. Schnitt met the...
I don't think you guys understand the gravity of this recording of Ghislaine Maxwell, the contents of it that were just released. That MAGA supporters, the cultists, their world has been turned upside down. You guys have to trust me on this. See, when I went down the MAGA rabbit hole for 6 months back in 2016, the Epstein files, Epstein was used to paint the entire Democratic elite as the pedophiles, the child sex traffickers, and Bill Clinton was at the top of that. Prince Andrew was at the top of that. I mean, there were like fake generated videos and photos and scary music and illustrations of little children screaming, running away from them. I'm not kidding. And then what happens? What happens? The Department of Justice under Donald Trump hires Jeffrey Epstein's defense attorney
There's video of a deputy analyst of the DOJ being recorded without his knowledge, stating that the plan for the DOJ is to release the files with all Republican or conservative names redacted, leaving only the Democrat or liberal names. It's audio and visual. He hasn't denied that it's true. He's only tried to explain it away. MAGA, this isn't to say that the left is perfect. I know that it was, who knows if Biden can be held responsible for not releasing it after he finally could during election season in 24. The right MAGA probably wouldn't have believed it because all the other accusations and proof against Donald Trump didn't show any shift in your loyalty to him. But ask yourself why they are protecting predators over women and children right now. I want the leftists, the Democrats, the liberals who were associated with Epstein to be held responsible. If they can't be held criminally responsible, I want them to be known so the public can shame them and hold them responsible. You should want the same for liberals and Democrats, as well as for Republicans and conservatives. You should be disgusted at the sheer notion of protecting predators because of their political affiliation. Again, this is not to say that one side is perfect. Both sides are guilty at some stage of protecting powerful men who prey on women and children. But at some point, you have to ask, when is enough enough?
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. You know, folks, always pay attention if you're being recorded or if someone's just making a recording of your voice. Either one, because what you say, if it's going, it can be used. Well, here's the deal. Josh Schnitt, Department of Justice, gets recorded on a hot mic saying that they're looking at scrubbing the names of Republicans off of the Epstein files and just leave the Democratic names. Caught on a hot mic, it's recorded, it's factual. So that's what they're doing up there in Washington, D.C. That's why these victims are going to come out with their own list. So an employee of the Department of Justice is saying they'll break the law, they'll take the Republican names out, and it's just to embarrass the Democrats. So that, folks, is what's going on. And folks, this is factual. There's a recording, and I'm sure you'll all hear it in the next 24 hours.
Holy fucking shit. A secret recording just dropped of a DOJ official saying that the plan is to take out all the conservative and all the Republican names and leave all the liberal and Democrat names in the files. Let's get into it. So the recording was done by Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, and it's of a DOJ official named Joseph Schnitt. And I'm about to show you the video right now.
Well, those files do exist.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal, Democratic people in those files.
And they visited that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
And also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's a convicted sex offender. They're offering her something to keep it on shut.
It's happening right in front of us, folks. The cover-up is on. It's very obvious what's going on. And now we have a secret recording of a DOJ official telling us that's exactly what's happening.
Well. You want to know what I noticed yesterday when I was watching that parade live on TV? There was something I noticed that was promised to those who were paid to attend the protest. I wonder what it could be. I mean, they were promised a few things, like a fast food lunch and a drink. They were directed to wear certain colors and said that they would receive something. I just can't seem to think of what it was. What was it that they were going to get? Because I seen a few of them in the crowd, and it didn't quite match the attire they had on. Yeah, their clothes did not look fresh and well kept. But something they was wearing was just shiny and new. And just in the shots that I seen, I counted at least 85. Brand new that didn't quite fit the person they were wearing or the attire that they were wearing on their body. I mean, I'm not calling anybody out or anything.
Is it too soon to be excited about the O'Keefe group? Because that's a far-right group, and they're the ones who posted the video of Joseph Schnitt. If you don't know about it, he's the deputy chief of the DOJ. Kind of a big name, I would think. And he got caught on a hot mic saying that they're going to redact Republican names from the Epstein files. I mean, none of us are shocked. But to see and hear a far-right news organization post that is a little hopeful for me. Are they starting to figure it out? Are they starting to finally say, wait a minute, we said we were going to drain the swamp. He promised that we were going to release the files. He promised this information. And he's in a ton of pictures with that guy. Maybe, just maybe somehow it's connected because, I mean, obviously. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert being out there with survivors, are they starting to figure it out? Like, dare I be hopeful? Dare I, like, look around and think, maybe they're starting to realize that the liberals aren't insane, that we want to drain the swamp, but we want them all. I don't want just the Republicans. I don't want just the Democrats. I want them all out of a job tomorrow.
A Department of Justice official was caught on a hot mic recently saying that if any Republican or Trump's name are in the Epstein files, they will be heavily redacted and removed, likely just have the Democratic and liberal names. This is a Department of Justice official caught on a hot mic, not realizing that he was being recorded. He's now trying to walk it back and now trying to explain it and everything. But he said this openly and candidly. How are you supposed to trust anything that comes out of this administration when these are the people in charge at the Department of Justice? This is why the victims of Epstein are making their own list. This is wild.
Can't we just call them all criminals? Because that's what they are. Boy, these people are a trip. So, look, we'll see if those files get to be released. Donald Trump is still doing gymnastics to make sure nobody sees those files after he campaigned and said he would release the Epstein files. And then he gets in office, and everybody that demands to see the Epstein files, he falls out with, and he has yet to show it. And he got Pam Bondi, you know, his little guard dog. She's trying to do everything she can, not only to not release the files, but also go help Donald Trump go after all of his enemies. I didn't know that's what the office of the presidency was for. I thought he was there to serve the people, but it doesn't look like that's quite that way when it comes down to Donald Trump. It looks like Donald Trump is trying to escape charges, and he wants to be president because he fears going to jail, but not to serve the country. Very self-serving, but not to serve the country. So, y'all, we shall see what happens with these files. Are they going to do what this dude said? They're going to redact just the Republican names and leave all the Democratic. So we're supposed to believe that there aren't any men on the right that would SA a woman or part of the Epstein files. That's supposed to be believable, huh? I know it's not to me. It's so funny. These people are such criminals, man. They are such criminals to the point where they say their crimes out loud. He said that on a hot mic. That wasn't a hot mic. He said exactly what he wants to do. I don't look at that moment as no hot mic. He works for the DOJ. So he's in a position to do exactly what he said, get the Republican names off of the list and just leave all Democratic names on there. But see, this is what happens when your country is ran by criminals and racists. This is the result you get. People at the top trying to cover up crime. So, well, I know they're trying to get Ghislaine Maxwell. They're trying to get her to testify before Congress. Now, I'm told this might occur in October, but we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Well, she's already in a minimum secure, she was in a maximum security prison serving out a 20-year sentence. And now Donald Trump had her moved to a minimum security prison, which says a lot. More than likely, he's going to let her walk when she really shouldn't walk at all. She was the main one recruiting a bunch of underage girls. So she definitely shouldn't walk. But if she does things the way Donald Trump wants it done, she'll walk. She'll definitely walk. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Be on the lookout for my premiere, which should be coming up at 6:15. And then I got one more video on the Rapture. You know, the people that are either joking about it or they didn't get raptured today, but they're hopeful there's always tomorrow. And it's been extended to the 25th. So stay tuned for that video. I'll put it out as my final video before I get into my Day of Atonement. Shalom, family.